Hello and welcome back to more Sunbreak goodness. My name is Solo and today we're talking about the Anomaly quest, the new aspect to Endgame that's very important, and understanding these afflicted monsters and how they work is going to help you overcome their ridiculous health pools. Now, as with all of our videos, we are trying to avoid major spoilers wherever possible, so don't worry about seeing anything majorly story related here, but this is still an Endgame topic, so do be warned. As I said, these are important quests because they're tied to the materials you need to reach the final upgrades for your weapons, as well as powerful decorations, layered armor, and more. Anomaly quests feature the new afflicted monsters, which are these violent and rather mad monsters driven to the state by the Curio who swarm them. The result of this is what you might refer to as a blood blight version of a monster, that important mechanic we first saw in Malzeno. Not only are they using blood blight though, but they also have entirely new mechanics on top of the base monster moveset, which you might recognize as an Apex version of said monster. In essence then, these are quite like Apex monsters, with a new status effect, and of course new mechanics involved. So here's what you need to know. Afflicted monsters are no joke. Thanks to their massive health pools, you're going to have to engage with their main mechanic, which I'll explain in a moment. But alongside their huge health bar, they cannot be captured, so you must kill them. And while you can wyvern ride these guys, it's going to be very difficult to trigger that unless you rely on, say, another monster dealing that special damage or a few of those useful endemics. Not to mention, they do seem to break out of any bindings quicker than your average monster, so be wary. Now, what is that main mechanic you must overcome? That is, of course, the new state known as Delirious. Afflicted monsters will eventually burst out into a delirious state denoted by a sound effect and those new deep red glowing spots that were found all over the body. At which point you're on a timer to pop all of the glowing spots, known as Anomaly cores, before an Anomaly burst occurs. Essentially that's a multi-part explosion of blood blight in a huge area. After one of those bursts goes off though, the monster will return back to its regular afflicted mode, but if you are popping those glowing spots, those cores, you'll be rewarded with a huge chunk of damage, which is of course going to rack up to massive damage when we're popping all of them. When you pop all of them, the monster will be knocked out of its delirious state, left vulnerable in that moment. To really illustrate how much health these monsters have though, Afflicted Rathian has something like 80,000 health on one player scaling, by the way. Meanwhile, Fatalis and Iceborne, your final endgame boss, that had 66,000, even less. Naturally, yes, Rise and World have very different numbers for your damage and power in general. I'm not suggesting afflicted monsters are as hard as Fatalis. However, you could spend more time fighting an afflicted monster than, say, the 30-minute deadline of the Fatalis hunt if you're not prepared. By maximizing your damage during the delirious states then, you can overcome that massive health pool much quicker than you might expect, leading to much more reasonable kill times and those killer rewards. So, focusing your role on popping those glowing cores ASAP, no matter where they are and what your ideal body target would normally be, should be your goal. On that note, I have some suggestions for an afflicted monster hunting build. Now, throughout your hunt, you're very likely to be hit and receive blood blight, and that can be deadly due to its negative effects. You'll be healing much less when using potions or otherwise, and your natural health recovery is massively reduced. However, you'll be granted a lifesteal power while you've got blood blight, meaning a percentage of your damage dealt will now be converted to health. The more damage you do, the more health you get back, which means it's often worth it to keep fighting rather than to stop and drink a potion, especially when that potion's healing is reduced. However, that's extremely risky in many situations, and yeah, drinking a nerf potion might still be the better idea. But what if you could massively increase the healing of, say, your blood blight damage, making yourself a sort of lifesteal machine, resulting in permanent uptime, which you certainly want so you can pop all of those cores in time. The two skills, Recovery Up and Recovery Speed, will directly help with that main mechanic of these afflicted monsters. Recovery Up will literally increase the amount of healing you receive from all sources, including of course blood blight. It's an extra 10% healing per level, maxing out at 3. Recovery Speed on the other hand will help you recover that red health after you've took some damage quicker. So the red section of your health bar after you're hit, you can skyrocket that health back up with some recovery speed. The levels of recovery speed will double, triple, or quadruple the amount of healing you get for that recoverable health. But if we're being realistic, you'll have a lot more health that isn't recoverable in fights in general. So I would recommend just Recovery Up. That's your main improvement to blood blight and to make the fight easier. I would suggest a minimum of level 2 Recovery Up in your afflicted hunting sets. We can easily get this from a single Medicine Jewel Plus, which is a 4-slot decoration, but I would still suggest you go further and get all 3 levels of Recovery Up with also a regular Medicine Jewel. At this point though, you'll have much more healing through blood blight. We can go even further though, if you want to full commit to Afflicted hunting set using the new Blood Right skill. Blood Right converts damage dealt to health when attacking a broken monster part. And at level 2 and 3, you get even more healing for the damage you do. So at best, we're talking about 10% of your damage being converted to health when attacking a broken part, on top of your Blood Blight healing and that improved healing you get from recovery up. So as you can see, at times I am able to skyrocket my health back up while attacking thanks to these 3 effects happening all at once. You may find these extremely helpful to have as you're learning your Afflicted monster fights, which is part of why I'm using it, but even then I might still keep using this build for that lifesteal because it's just a lot of fun and it helps me maintain my DPS even though I've just been hit. For Blood Right levels, I suggest both Malzeno chest piece and the Malzeno waist. The chest comes with Blood Right level 1, as well as weakness exploit level 1 and part breaker level 1, all good skills here. While the waist comes with 2 levels of Blood Right, another 1 level of part breaker, and even an attack boost level 1. With just these 2 pieces, you can increase that part breaking damage as well as get yourself the full rack of Blood Right. Using recovery up and Blood Right, while also being afflicted by Blood Blight, you can net yourself some serious healing by attacking rather than having to stop and drink a potion. And I think it leads to a really fun playstyle, which reminds me of Bloodborne Rallying, if you've ever played that game. Finally, let's talk about why you should make it a priority to hunt afflicted monsters in the endgame. Mainly, like I said, afflicted monsters are going to reward the materials you need to reach rarity 10 on most of your weapons. That's the current highest level. However, depending on your weapon, you'll need to hunt different levels of afflicted monsters, which come in 4 star levels right now. Naturally, the higher the star level, the more dangerous the monster, and each tier has different materials from afflicted monsters, such as afflicted bones, pelts, shells, scales, and fangs, as some examples, but not all. These materials will be required for those rarity 10 upgrades on those weapons, each weapon requiring 1 or even multiple types of afflicted materials. At first, you'll unlock just Anomaly quests at star level 1 after you complete the main story of Sunbreak. Then, to unlock all 4 star levels, you'll need to reach Master Rank 50 and complete the urgent quest. Between then and now, though, you'll have to unlock star level 2 and 3 at various Master Rank levels and doing the urgent quests associated. Now, not only do these Anomaly quests reward these materials, but they also unlock some very powerful decorations to start crafting at each star level of monster. They'll also reward the new red outfit vouchers, which are required to craft Master Rank layered sets. And of course, you'll get big chunks of Master Rank XP for defeating these rather tough quests, and I found the rewards in general to be pretty good too. Not only am I still getting regular monster parts, but I've also had multiple platinum egg drops, which are worth 100,000 zenny each, which is not bad. Overall, I really like the afflicted monsters. They provide important rewards beyond just like the 1 material for certain decorations like we had with Apex monsters, and they're a clever way for them to keep the concept of Apex monsters in-game while introducing new mechanics that are a lot of fun and to manage. Starting off as actual hunts without that wall of rampage to get through as well, that just feels better, and because they're important and worth our time, I think they'll make for a fun challenge to work on as we progress the end game. But there you have it. That is my guide to Anomaly quests and those new afflicted monsters, and my advice to you when facing them. I do hope this video has helped you, and if it did, be sure to drop a like so we can keep making content like this for Sunbreak. If you've any tips or questions in regards to these quests, drop it in the comments. For now though, I've been Hollow, you've been you, and thank you very much for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.